There is an ancient Venusian sigil capable of magnetizing love, not metaphorically, but energetically. It was passed down in whispers, hidden in grimoires, and sealed in symbols that only the initiated could decode, and no one knows it exists. And the few who do never speak about it, not because it was forbidden, but because it was considered to be sacred knowledge. You see, in the old mystery traditions, this sigil was protected, not suppressed, because to misuse the Venusian energy is to distort the very current of love itself. And those people who safeguarded it understood that this power requires devotion, not desperation. For a long time, this channel was faceless. The message came through, but not the messenger. But something in me has shifted, and the energy that I am about to share with you is too alive and too personal and too real to remain hidden behind the veil. So here I am, exactly as I am, revealing this to you, not as knowledge, but as embodiment, because when you use the sigil with reverence and precision and true understanding, it's not the sigil itself that helps you to attract love, but it merely initiates you into it. So if you stay until the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how to use and how to activate it, not just with intention alone, but with real power. Have you ever felt like love remains just outside of your reach, no matter how much inner work you've done, and maybe you have tried affirmations, and you have tried manifestation techniques and even love spells, and still nothing actually happens? See, the truth is that attraction itself has nothing to do with willpower, but it does has everything to do with resonance. Because the force that governs love, the Venusian current, isn't a conceptual force. It is real, it is alive, and it is magnetic. And when you know how to align with it, love doesn't need to be chased. It simply flows toward you effortlessly. But see, this manifestation technique that I'm going to share with you today isn't your average mainstream gimmick or manifestation technique. This is an ancient energetic art, only known to priestesses, to magicians, and to tantric mystics who understood the deeper laws of attraction, the deeper laws of literally the law of attraction, which is a Hermetic law, the ones that operate through frequency and geometry and devotion. This does not operate through wishful thinking. So I will show you how to access it today, because if you have been struggling with love, whether it is calling in your divine counterpart or deepening an existing bond, or perhaps simply radiating the kind of energy that draws love naturally towards you, then this might very well be the piece that you've been missing. Venus has long been the planet of love and beauty and desire and divine union. Her name itself graces poems and perfumes, love spells, but beneath all these surface-level associations, something far more powerful has been quietly hidden, because in the ancient world, Venus wasn't just a symbol. She was, and she still is, a living current, a cosmic force that radiates through time, space, and spirit. Those who understood her power didn't just call on her, they didn't just invoke her, they became her frequency. This is the Venusian current, an energetic stream woven through the cosmos, responsible not only for romantic attraction, but for personal magnetism, fertility, creativity, charm, and the ability to magnetize anything that your heart desires. You see, in the temples of Isis, in the secret manuscripts of Renaissance alchemists, in the Tantric lineages that honor Shakti, this current was not worshipped passively. This current was studied and then channeled and finally embodied. Because to master the Venusian current is to master the energetic language of love itself. This is not a metaphor. This is esoteric science hidden in sacred geometry, in planetary cycles, and in breath. Venus wasn't just merely a planet in the eyes of the ancients. She was an intelligent and archetypical force, a goddess, sure, but also a vibrational current that you could invoke, embody, and direct. Venus's orbit in the sky traces a 5-petaled rose every 8 years. This is a celestial signature encoded with symmetry, seduction, and sacred beauty. To align with this pattern is to align with Venus's energetic rhythm, a rhythm that can be called down into the body, into the heart space, and into the magnetic field of the person. In Tantric language, this is Shakti, the awakened feminine current that flows not from wanting, but from radiance. When the inner masculine and the inner feminine unite, that is the inner Shiva and the inner Shakti, the logic and longing, Venus responds to this, and she flows to where there is devotion. But somewhere along the way, this knowledge was buried, not by time, but by design. Because those in power understood something really crucial, that true attraction doesn't come from things such as appearance or tactics or manipulation. It comes from your energy and how you use and direct that energy. And if the masters knew how to actually cultivate and command that energy, then they wouldn't be dependent anymore. They wouldn't chase things and they would simply attract them. So if you look at today, modern dating advice focuses on all of these outer layers, what to say and how to dress and how to keep somebody interested. But the mystery schools taught something entirely different, that attraction is a frequency. And once you become a match to it, love doesn't need to be pursued because it simply arrives naturally and magnetically. So you are probably wondering how to actually access this current. This is exactly where Venusian sigils and planetary seals come into play, because just as a tuning fork can calibrate your frequency to a specific tone, these symbols are energetic instruments. They are tools of attunement. They don't just represent the Venus's energy, they invoke it. They act as actual portals, drawing the Venusian current out of the heavens and into your field, into your body, and finally into your reality. They literally are the hidden keys. In modern spirituality, manifestation is often reduced to things such as thoughts and feelings and affirmation journaling, such as saying, believe and it will simply come to me. But this is only the surface. The ancients knew something different. They understood that thought alone does not manifest. Energetic precision does. And they encoded that precision into sacred symbols, into sigils and planetary seals designed to tune your field to the frequencies of celestial forces. So when it came to love, beauty, and magnetism, they turned to one current, Venus, and they channeled her energy into drawn forms such as sigils and talismans, seals, things, symbology that could hold, direct, and radiate her power. So let's discuss what a sigil is really. A sigil is not just a symbol, it is a living code of sorts. It is a geometric carrier of intent and frequency and astral instruction. When created with awareness and ritual, a sigil becomes what the metaphysics called a binding of force to form. You are not merely drawing your desire, but you are encoding it into the subtle structures of reality. Every angle and every curve and every motion of a sigil carries a vibrational signature. Just like the glyphs of ancient alphabets, sacred geometry, or even mantras, sigils themselves speak the hidden language of energy. But here is the thing that most people tend to miss. A sigil itself doesn't ask the universe for something, it instructs it for something. It becomes a resonant circuit between your own subconscious, your own desire, and then the planetary archetype that you are invoking. And when you use a Venusian sigil, you're not just asking for love, you are actually becoming a magnet that pulses with Venus's own frequency. Let's discuss how these Venusian sigils actually work. What are the hidden mechanics behind them? In esoteric science, every planet emits not only a physical influence, but a subtle energetic field that corresponds to specific traits. Venus herself governs things such as magnetic attraction and sensual embodiment, creative fertility, harmony, luxury, and even things such as aesthetic intelligence. These frequencies exist in the astral layer, that is the energetic plane that directly precedes manifestation. The ancient magicians understood that to influence the physical world, you must actually program the astral world. Sigils then are astral commands which are encoded into visible form. When you draw a sigil and you activate it, they ripple into the unseen layers of your own energy field, instructing reality to match your vibration. There are two main pathways of Venusian magic. That means there are two primary ways that the ancients accessed this energy through symbology. The traditional Venus seal herself can be considered the archetypical blueprint. The traditional seal of Venus found in texts like the Key of Solomon is a master key. It contains mathematical ratios and sacred geometries that mirror Venus's orbital path, specifically her creation of a perfect five-pointed star across the heavens every 8 years. This is not poetic metaphor, it is planetary resonance in actual visual form. The seal itself is a blueprint of divine magnetism, and it works and it attracts not because it begs, but because it vibrates in harmony with the cosmos itself. But it only works when crafted correctly. So the sigil needs to traditionally be created and crafted on the day ruled by the planet in question, in this case Venus. Friday is Venus's day. It needs to be created during her planetary hour, which can be calculated using astrological charts. It needs to be created using materials which are sacred to her, such as rose, silk, copper, and green parchment. It needs to be anointed with Venusian oils, such as rose oil, cinnamon oil, and jasmine oil. And when you've prepared the sigil with these elements, and you have consecrated it through your voice, breath, and intention, the seal becomes alive, not as a metaphor, but as a literal energetic construct charged with planetary force. The second pathway is the personalized Venus sigil, which is a magnetic mirror of yourself. While the traditional seal reflects the macrocosmic Venus, the personalized sigil reflects the microcosm of your unique desire. This sigil is created from your name, your specific intention, and your energetic imprint. Through Kabbalistic gematria, Enochian encryption, or modern chaos magic methods, your intent is distilled into a unique symbol, a glyph that only you carry. Think of it as a psychospiritual fingerprint. It doesn't just represent your desire, it becomes a vibrational mirror of it, radiating into the subtle layers of your field. When the sigil is activated and charged, it begins to shift your auric resonance, not by convincing the universe to give you something, but by transforming your signal into the match for what you see. So all of this being said and taken into account, there is still a common mistake that most people make. And that mistake is that most people tend to treat sigils like wish lists. They sketch them once and stare at them for a little bit and then they move on. But a sigil is not something that is passive. It is not a command in ink. It is an actual invocation, and like all sacred tools, it must be activated. It is a ritual being, a container of potential. It is not a guarantee by itself. Just as a musical instrument must be played, just as a mantra must be chanted correctly, a sigil must be breathed into, it must be charged, and it must be made luminous. So by now you understand that love is not something that you chase, but it is something that you resonate with. And you've learned how Venusian sigils act as energetic keys to align your aura with divine attraction. But knowledge alone isn't enough. We need to apply this, and the sigil needs to be awakened. It must be charged, animated, and sealed, infused with your unique energy, bound to your subtle body, and synchronized with the planetary current of Venus. This is the essence of the forbidden Venusian ritual, a precise sequence of steps that transforms your desire into resonance and your symbol into a magnetic vortex. Your very first step is to create the sigil in sacred time and form. The moment of actual creation is the first point of energetic contact. It's not just when you draw the sigil, but it's when you birth it into the astral realms. In order to do this, you must align with Venus at her peak. And her peak day is Friday. Her peak hour can be calculated using a planetary hour calculator based on your exact location. The moon phase is the waxing or the full moon. These are both phases of growth and attraction, of fullness. This exact timing ensures that you are weaving your energy into the natural harmonic pulse of the cosmos. Next, it is very important to choose your materials with intention. These materials are very important because they are frequency amplifiers. Your base material should be rose-colored parchment, green silk, or consecrated handmade paper. Your ink should be gold in color, red or green. These colors reflect Venusian frequencies. Your tool itself should be copper stylus if engraving, or perhaps a consecrated quill, or even a brush if you are drawing the sigil. The oils used should anoint the surface of the sigil with rose oil, jasmine oil, or cinnamon oil. Venusian botanicals are known to awaken desire and beauty. As you draw the sigil, it is very important to ground yourself and breathe slowly and be present. Your breath needs to move with your lines. Inhale as you begin a stroke and exhale as you finish. Remember that you are drawing with spirit. The second step, which is very important, is to activate the sigil. This means that you are actually binding the sigil to your own energetic field. Once your sigil is complete, you must awaken it, not just mentally, but energetically. This begins with a breath and a gaze technique rooted in Tantric and Hermetic ritual. Your first step will be to gaze softly at the sigil. Simply allow your vision to blur slightly until the lines begin to shimmer or shift in your perception. This is not an illusion, but it is your subconscious tuning in. Then you need to enter into a rhythmic breath. You can inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 6 counts, and repeat the process. On your inhalation, visualize golden pink light rising from your heart chakra, and on your exhale, send that light down your arms and into your palms and into the sigil. This is called pranic infusion, charging the symbol with your life force, because remember, life force is prana, is chi, is sexual energy. When the sigil begins to actually feel alive to you, it should feel warm, perhaps magnetic or even pulsing. At that stage, you are ready for vocal activation. The third step is vibrational alignment through Venusian mantra. Your voice is a tuning fork, and when you speak sacred names with intention, you vibrate your auric field into resonance with divine forces. You can choose one of the following Venusian invocations. A Vedic invocation that you can use is the Om Shukraya Namaha. This honors Shukra, the Vedic representation of Venus. The Hermetic invocation or mantra you can use is Hail Hachil, Spirit of Venus, summoning the intelligence of the Venusian Current. As you chant these chants or other chants, because there are many, imagine the sigil glowing brighter, infused with the spirit of Venus herself, pulsing like a soft star within your hands. If you are able to feel warmth, tingling, or a sensation of the sigil responding, then that is confirmation. You are no longer merely holding paper, you are holding a living current. Your fourth step is to anoint and declare your intent. This is the step where you seal the energy. You can use your chosen oil and anoint the 4 corners of the sigil, north, south, east, and west, as if you are anchoring it across dimensions. Then speak your intention aloud. Do this slowly with reverence. For example, by the power of Venus, I call forth love in its highest form. May this sigil radiate attraction, harmony, and divine connection across all planes. These words are not for your mind. They are for your energy field and for your soul and the astral web that connects you to all things. Step 5 is charging the sigil, energy as fuel. See, activating the sigil opens the channel, but charging it fuels it. So here are 3 advanced techniques to charge your sigil based on your own unique path. The first method is Tantric energy transmutation. With this method, you can engage in sensual or sexual practice, alone or with a partner, and at the very peak of arousal, breathe the energy upward through your spine and into your heart space, and then down into the sigil. Do not release physically unless you choose to send this energy outward. This is Kundalini field attraction. It is potent and it is ancient and it is direct. The second methodology you can use is candle gazing. Basically, light a pink or a green candle beside the sigil. Gaze into the flame while holding the sigil to your heart and visualize the flame transferring its warmth into the sigil, which begins to glow internally. The third step is auditory charging. You can chant your invocation rhythmically while playing Venusian planetary frequencies, typically around 221 Hz or music tuned to 432 Hz. Let the sound wave vibrate the sigil into radiance, and when it is fully charged, you will actually feel it. You should be able to feel a subtle shift, something like a ripple in the room, or just a click. You have just created a living energetic construct. Step 6 is integration, making the sigil work for you personally. See, a charged sigil must now be integrated, and how you do this depends on your intention. For love through dreams or the dream space, you can place the sigil under your pillow to allow it to reprogram your subconscious mind. And for personal magnetism, you can carry it with you, perhaps in a locket or a wallet, or even just fold it near your body. For environmental attraction, you can place it on your altar and light Venusian candles weekly. For surrender and release, you can burn the sigil under a waxing or full moon, visualizing your desire as if it has already been fully fulfilled. The final step is to make an offering to Venus. See, all true magic is reciprocal. Make an offering to honor the current that you've just called upon. Offerings may include things such as roses and cinnamon sticks, jasmine flowers, perhaps even a handwritten poem, a love song, creative gestures, a dish of honey left under the stars on a Friday night. That's a very good idea. Or simply a whisper of gratitude that you can speak with reverence. This final act completes the ritual. It aligns your heart with Venus, not as a beggar, but as a co-creator. And now, if you've followed all of these steps, on Friday, during Venus's planetary hour, your sigil is alive. You've now infused it with intention, with energy, and with planetary force, sensual power, and love. And you don't just hold a tool here, you are holding an ancient current. And that current is now part of your field. But even with all of this power, there's still one mistake that can block the manifestation of love. And almost everyone makes it. So let's explore that. Even the most powerful sigil activated under the perfect conditions will fall flat if your own energy is silently repelling love. And this is the single greatest mistake people make in love manifestation. They approach it from a position of lack, and they focus on what is missing, what's broken, and what they've never had. Hence, they seek love as if it is something outside of them, something that they need to actively chase and run towards and earn or be worthy of. But in esoteric tradition, attraction has nothing to do with that, and it has everything to do with frequency. Think of love not as a thing, but as a broadcast, a frequency that exists whether you are aware of it or not. If you're vibrating at the level of loneliness, insecurity, fear, or desperation, you will unconsciously repel what you claim to want. This is not punishment, it's mere physics. The universe can only reflect what you radiate, and when your field shifts, when you embody the vibration of already being loved, already being magnetic, and already being whole, you simply align with love, not as a concept, but as a reality. And it begins to actively seek you, not because you demanded it, but because you are now a match for its arrival. This is where the real alchemy begins. In Hermeticism, Tantra, and Kabbalah, manifestation is not about bringing something towards you, but it is about becoming the thing that you see. This is called the alchemical marriage, the sacred fusion of opposites inside yourself. Your inner masculine and your inner feminine, your desire and your worth, your longing and your love. When you radiate harmony between these forces, you no longer send out an energetic signal of absence, but you emit presence. And this is what the sigil responds to. The sigil becomes an amplifier, not of want, but of your embodiment. If your frequency is aligned, the sigil becomes a vortex of attraction. But if your energy is fragmented, it becomes nothing more than merely paper and ink, which doesn't mean anything. So before you activate your sigil, ask yourself a couple of very important questions, such as, am I embodying love or am I actually chasing it? The fastest way to shift is not through effort, but through self-attunement. Tune into yourself. Speak to yourself as if love already surrounds you. Move your body, your essential presence, not self-judgment. Engage in rituals of beauty, not because they attract others, but because they awaken you. And when your body, your mind, and your spirit begins to remember their own divinity, your energy field transforms. You don't perform magnetism, you merely become it. And if you are ready to make that shift right now, declare it in the comments. Simply comment, Venus awakens. Let this be your vow to stick to your promise of embodying the Venusian current if this is important to you and a path that you want to walk. Now you understand that Venusian magic isn't about attraction, but it is about alignment. But what if I told you that there's more? Beyond sigils and planetary timing lie the deep initiatory practices, hidden teachings once reserved for inner temples, secret orders, and solitary adepts. Venusian mantra chanting is used in Vedic and Hermetic schools. These sacred vibrational sequences entrain your energy field to resonate with love itself, and When spoken with breath and with rhythm and devotion, they don't just amplify manifestation, but they reprogram your magnetic field. Let's talk about planetary talismans. So these are energetically charged vessels crafted with metal, stones, and planetary correspondences. When you make these under precise astrological conditions, they become living extensions of Venus's spirit, radiating attraction even in your sleep. And planetary invocations, such as calling upon Hagiel, Anile, or the spirits of Venus through ritual speech, planetary incenses, and ceremonial timing, is not asking, but it is commanding through resonance, anchoring Venusian presence into your personal sphere. Dream programming used in ancient Egyptian and Hellenistic rites involves placing a charged Venusian sigil beneath your pillow, setting a whispered intention before sleep, and entering the astral dreaming temple. This is definitely a very powerful practice. These practices are not for the curious, they are for the initiated. They do require discipline, timing, and a willingness to move beyond surface level spirituality and into energetic artistry. And in the next video, I'll guide you step by step through each one. You've now stepped beyond surface level manifestation and into the deeper mysteries of Venus. And you've learned how to work with sigils, align your energy field, and embody attraction itself. But this is only the beginning. Obviously, there's much more and deeper layers to all of these things. And in the next video, I'll guide you into the advanced Venusian techniques, including talisman crafting, planetary invocations, mantra rituals, and astral dream work, so you can embody this current fully. If this path calls to something ancient within you, and if you're ready to move from seeking love to radiating it, comment Venus Awakens below to anchor your intention. Please be sure to subscribe, to like, and to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next ritual transmission. In closing, this was also my first time presenting on camera. It was a very interesting experience. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If this kind of format doesn't work for you, please comment in the comments below. As you know, I read all comments. It might take me a while, but I'll definitely get to it. Thank you so much for watching. This was amazing, and see you next time.